All right. So, in fourth grade, do you remember we were made to move from pencils to pens so that we are not able to erase our mistakes? That's not how life works. Life is still a pencil. You see, there's an eraser at the back of a pencil. We can still make mistakes, learn from them, and grow. Growing up is not about a number, it is just about taking experiences and learning from them. And that's what our segment, General Evaluation, is about because it helps us improve and become better. So now I'd be calling our General Evaluator, Mohsin. For his introduction, I asked him if you had to bring back one childhood cartoon character, a candy, and a childhood best friend, what and who would it be? Mohsin is a lucky guy because he says he's in touch with all of his childhood friends. For the cartoon character part, he would like to bring back Winnie the Pooh and Tom and Jerry. And for the candy part, he would like to bring back Kacha Mango Bite. So I would like to call Mohsin to give the general evaluation. Over to you, Mohsin.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vanshika. Good afternoon, MTM. We are just 1 minute past 12, so I think I am right in saying that. I am going to be your general evaluator for today. And as the general evaluator, I have 3 duties to perform. Number 1, I will be calling upon the speech evaluators to give the feedback to these excellent speeches that we have had today. I request all the evaluators to follow the burger method of evaluation, which is a fancier version of the CRC method, where the buns represent the commendations and the patty in between represent the recommendation. Number 2, I would be calling upon the tag team to give their reports, which is the timer, R counter, and the grammarian. And in the end, I will be giving my evaluation of the entire meeting. So before I call upon the evaluators, I would like to call upon the timer for today, Toastmaster Bhavya, to give the timing guidelines.
Good afternoon, everyone. We have 4 wonderful evaluations coming up with the speeches that we had today. I'd urge all of you all to listen to every evaluation. You never know what you might pick up from those and incorporate them in your speeches. Well, the timing criteria for the evaluations is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2, you shall see my green background. God, I always yes, you shall see this background at 2 minutes. You shall see this background, the yellow one, at 2 minutes, 30 seconds. And at 3 minutes, you shall see the red background. And you have a 30 seconds of grace for every evaluation, and you shall not be notified if you've gone overboard. So that's the timing criteria for the speech evaluations. And over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhavya. With this, I would like to start the evaluation section. So let me take this opportunity to call upon the first evaluator for today, Toastmaster Dimple, who would be evaluating Toastmaster Mario's speech. When I asked Dimple if you could relive one day from your childhood, which one would it be? She said, there was this one day when she and her brother took a few chocolates and a box of bread rolls that her mother made. They went on the terrace and climbed on the parapet on top of the door. They just sat there watching the world, talking and doing nothing really. And it took her really long to get off from that parapet. And that day she discovered her fear of heights. But she says that she would take nothing away from that day and loves the day just as she spent it. So Toastmaster Dimple, Evaluator 2, Evaluator 1, Toastmaster Dimple.
Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much for that evaluation, Toastmaster Dimple. Now let me call upon the second evaluator for today, that is Toastmaster Krishna, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Chandrasekhar. Now, when I asked Krishna if you could relive one day from your childhood, which one would it be and why? He had a very innocent response. He believes that he's still in his childhood and is very happy with his current life. According to him, reliving means you didn't live that moment before it, so it is just a waste of time. On that note, Evaluator 2, Toastmaster Krishna, Evaluator 2.
Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krishna, for that excellent evaluation. Now, I would like to call upon the third evaluator for today, Toastmaster Vineet. Firstly, kudos for taking up the role at the very last minute. When I asked Vineet if he could relive one day from his childhood, which one would it be? So he gave a layered answer. First, he said that just as a punishment, he was seated right beside his crush. And I'm sure quite a lot of us might have faced that situation before. And he regrets not taking a chance then to ask her out. Next, he said he did ask her out, but when he did that, he was not quite confident. So if he were to do it again, he just wanted to do it with much more confidence. I'm sure you'll be killing all the ladies in the future, Vineet. Over to you, Evaluator 3, Toastmaster Vineet.
Killing all the ladies, not so sure, but I would do a good job. I'm sure of that.
Over to you, Mosi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vineet, for that excellent evaluation. Next, we move on to the fourth and the last evaluator for today, veteran Toastmaster Harsimran Singh. He will be evaluating Toastmaster Jeevan's speech. Now, when I asked Harsimran which day from your childhood you would want to relive, he had a very philosophical reply. He said he believes childhood is a phase that continues till the end of our days. And as far as the day that he would love to relive is concerned, he says it is yet to come. And when I read this, I was reminded of the time when Cristiano Ronaldo was asked which goal is his favorite goal, and he replied, "It is the next one." On that note, I hand the stage over to you, Toastmaster Harsimran, to evaluate the fourth speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohsin. A quick audio video check. Am I audible? Heyday, heyday. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Harsimran, for that excellent evaluation. So this marks the end of the evaluation section. So now I would like to call upon the timer to give the timing reports. Over to you, Toastmaster Bhavya.
What a heyday for all of us to be listening to all these wonderful evaluations. We had 4 evaluators speak for Man Toastmaster Dimple spoke for 3 minutes and 18 seconds, which makes her qualified. Toastmaster Krishna, again, 3 minutes, 18 seconds, which again makes him qualified. Toastmaster Vineet overshot with some of his technical glitches, which was not considered through the timing, but still you managed to overshot, making it up to 3 minutes, 37 seconds. And Toastmaster Harsimran was with 3 minutes, 14 seconds, which makes Toastmaster Vineet not qualifying for this, but Toastmaster Harsimran is qualified for the voting. So we have Dimple, Krishna, and Harsimran for the voting. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Toastmaster Bhavya. So I just want to ask, will we be having the polls right now or at the end right now?
Yeah, Mohsin, in a bit.
No problem.
Yeah, we can vote. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhiraj. So now I would like to call upon the R counter, Toastmaster Azim, to give his R counter report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I would request a Zoom Master or co-host to share the account report because I am having problem.
Can you share the report separately?
Azim, it would be great if you could send the report once again to Pranav, maybe on his WhatsApp.
Give me a sec.
Sure.
I'm just sharing it.
Okay.
Here you go.
Okay. Thank you, Divya ma'am, for sharing the screen. So the speaker who were flawless during the speech are Divya Iyer, Mario Rosario, Chandrasekhar Patil, Jeevan Fernandez, Mohammad Kagdi, guest Puneet, Krishna Subramaniam, Harsimran Singh, and the speakers who use filler words and phrases 5 times or more than 5 times are Vanshika, then guest Shilpi, Sahil Alwa, Dimple Mehta, and Vinit Jeb. Thank you.
Thank you, Azim, for that detailed report. Next, I would like to call upon the grammarian for today, Toastmaster Lokesh, to provide his grammarian report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So today is a heyday for hearing good speeches from MTM. So now I will be sharing the grammarian report. Yeah, so I hope it's visible right now. My report is. So I had been tracking some good usage of the language, and we have our Zoom master Pranav Kanoria, who said that I am the amalgamation of people in my life. And also we have our presiding officer Divya Iyer, who said that her marriage life was not a bed of roses. And our Mario, speaker one Mario used a lot of good words in his speech. Somewhere contemplated changing career track, migrated to another country, inconspicuous, and he have a zeal to work. Our speaker two Chandrasekhar Patel used some good phrases like remember them vividly, triumph of good over evil. And Keshav Baradia had used this phrase plethora of other products. And Jeevan Fernandez used the phrase embrace the competition. And our guest Puni J in the table topic session used that he was a mediculous student. And our evaluator too, Krishna Subramaniam, said that he found the speech enunciated clearly and speech of this career. He used these phrases. And some not so good usage of the words, not so good usage of the languages. I felt instead of studious person, you can just say nerd. So try to minimize the number of words you use to describe something. And for share stories, I would recommend share anecdotes, because story, I would say it's more with not sharing incidents. So you can say share anecdotes. And enigmatic speech, I'm not sure whether it's a right thing to say, because a speech cannot be enigmatic, or like it can be strange. But enigmatic speech is like, since everyone is giving their speech, I don't feel this is an appropriate word to use. And some word of the day report, we have Vanchika, the Toastmaster of the day, using heyday 2 times. Mario had used it once. Krishna Subramaniam has used it once. Dimple Mehta 2, Harsimran Singh 2, and we have Bhavya said using it 1. And right now I used it once. So we have, this is the report from my side.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lokesh. I'm sure you had a heyday while making this report, just as we had listening to all these speeches and the evaluators. So this marks the end of the evaluation section and the tag team reports. So now is the time for my report. So will it be a heyday for you guys? I don't know, we'll see. Starting off with the Star Sergeant at Arms, Pranav Kanoria. You started the meeting on time. Pranav, that virtual background was a stroke of brilliance. By putting the meeting number as well as the theme in your virtual background, it transported me that much closer to the National College physical meetings, where we used to write the theme, the meeting number, the names of all the speakers, so on and so forth. And I'm sure your SAR address made us all introspect about the way we live our lives with your own life experiences. So all in all, a wonderful start to this Sunday morning. Moving on to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Divya Iyer. You started off with a brilliant question. What do you think has been the most amazing part of your life? I think you stole my question there, so I don't know. Should we punish her for that? Just joking. Ms. Divya Iyer, your address was phenomenal as always. You started off by giving us a complex about our life by talking about your heyday, aka your student life, by talking about your stellar performances. But in the end, giving us a kick to do better. Then you opened all of our eyes by talking about how even after you were past your education phase, you were still being a student at various walks of life. All in all, a wonderful address. Now moving on to the person of the day, Toastmaster of the day, Vanshika Paharia. Vanshika, you have become a veteran Toastmaster in just a matter of 2 months. And despite having 3 backouts, you were quick on your feet, adjusting with whatever this meeting threw at you. You took us all on a trip to the memory lane with that Guess the Candy game. Kudos on taking that one guest introduction and adding your own twist to it by asking them to give a quote that they would write in the college book at the year end. And that put your finger down game was just hilarious. I had so much fun in that game. So kudos for conducting such an amazing meeting. Now I just wanted to mention 3 small things that you could have done. Number 1, now Toastmaster Mario, although he's a veteran Toastmaster, he was giving his icebreaker speech today. So that means you could have asked the audience to give him a standing ovation. I think that you could have done. Next, after each speech, you gave the speakers compliments, but they were different for each speaker. Now, as a Toastmaster, you have to Toastmaster of the day, you have to keep in mind that you have to stay neutral, because this may end up swaying the polls in one direction. And lastly, we had 2 speakers with the same speech objectives. So you could have avoided calling upon Toastmaster Keshav's evaluator, Toastmaster Vineet. But these are just small minor things that you can keep in mind. Having said that, I feel you were in your element today, and I had a blast in this meeting. Next, moving on to the table topics, Master, Toastmaster Komaldev. Your topics were fantastic. They were really interesting and had me engaged, and I was waiting for the next topic. I just wanted to hear what new topics you were going to give us. Now, the tag team. Let me start with timer Toastmaster Bhavya. Toastmaster Bhavya, MTM cannot thank you enough for stepping up to that role in the last minute. You were truly like an angel in disguise. Your explanation was crisp and you explained everything properly, all your roles, all the timing guidelines. So kudos for that. Then the R counter Azim, great report, detailed report. I would have liked for you to explain the entire Excel sheet properly, the number of R's, not just the total. You could have taken your time speaking about each and every speaker that came today. And lastly, the grammarian, a very job well done there. Also, I forgot to mention, Azim, thank you for stepping up in the last moment. You two stepped up, so thank you for that. We had a back out there. Now, I want to give a challenge, especially to the tag team. Think of a way of including the theme while you're explaining your role. So the timer, I know it is wrong for me to assume that you would do it when you just came to know, or you just became the timer a minute before the meeting started. But maybe you could have said that, just like how teachers keep track of time during your examinations, I will be keeping track of time of your speeches or your evaluation, something like that. So childhood, adulthood, something like that, playing on that note. Now moving on to the evaluators, your evaluations were on point. Special shout out to Toastmaster Vineet. Again, he's the go-to guy in MTM, and I thank you for alleviating our worries. Now, I want to speak about something serious, about these backouts, 3 backouts that we had. I want to tell you that it is very, very, very difficult to replace a backout at the last minute. Now, I know that the original timer and the evaluator are there in the meeting. So what I want to say to you is, it would have been so much easier for us, or so much better for us, if you would have just written a message on the WhatsApp group that maybe you're going to be 10 minutes late, or you'll be joining by this time. Because even while we were trying to contact, I think that didn't happen quite well. So I think that is what we need to take seriously, because backouts is a serious issue, and replacing someone just 5 minutes before the meeting doesn't really make sense. Having said that, I thoroughly enjoyed today's meeting, And Toastmaster Vanshika, I cannot hope, I hope to see more of you donning the hat of the Toastmaster of the Day role. So handing it back over to you, Toastmaster Vanshika.